Hi, and welcome to the Access Direct Opening Bell, your essential pre-market podcast. In just minutes, get key global updates, overnight trends, and market-moving factors that set the tone for the day. Whether you're a seasoned trader or just someone tracking the markets, this is your go-to briefing to stay ahead at all times. So let's dive straight in.
Good morning on a Friday, and we will start with US stocks, which ended down in what was the worst daily sell-off since October as the rate cut bets shrank. The S&P 500 ended 1.7% down at 6,737, while the Nasdaq 100 finished 2.1% lower. Meanwhile, traders and investors are preparing for economic data to show the true picture of the state of the economy, as the longest shutdown in the history of the US government has finally ended. In related markets, the VIX jumped 14% to settle exactly at 20. The dollar index fell for the sixth day in 7, and the 10-year treasury yield rose a bit. Meanwhile, gold dropped 0.6% and closed at $4,171 an ounce on a day marked by more than average volatility, while Brent prices finished 1% up. Speaking rupee, and the currency ended the day slightly lower at 88.67. On to local equities now, and the Nifty ended flat at 25,879, but not before reversing down after a brief thrust just about 26,000. The India VIX ticked slightly higher. Small caps and mid caps underperformed the Nifty. On the NSE 500, 36% of stocks gained. 6 of the 12 NSE sectors advanced, with metals becoming the top gainer with a 0.4% up move. PSU banks lagged the most as they declined 0.7%. Asian Paints was the best performer on the Nifty as it rose 4%, while Eternal was the big loser as it fell 3.6%. Technically speaking, yesterday's bearish reversal completed a spinning top candlestick, and that means that the 25,716 to 25,808 zone will be the one that bulls would want to defend going forward. On the upside, the 26,020 to 26,150 area will continue to be a key reference point. Elsewhere, provisional data showed that foreigners withdrew 384 crores yesterday. The month-to-date outflow now sits around 8,700 crores. Onto derivatives markets, and the Nifty's put call ratio went from 1.23 to 1.1, while the Bank Nifty sticked higher to 0.98 from 0.96. Call addition exceeded the addition that was seen in puts, and implied volatility rose 60 basis points, which means investors turned bullish via the purchase of calls. For options expiring on 18th November, resistance sits between 25,900 and 26,000, while support lies inside the 25,500 and 25,800 area. Elsewhere, 1% out-of-the-money calls rose more compared to similar distance puts, and that means vol traders turned confident. On to positioning, foreigners and prop traders turned bearish, while retail investors flipped to bullish. Meanwhile, the index futures net short position of foreigners shrank by 2,000 contracts to around 160,000 contracts. Looking forward to the day, the GIFT Nifty was down 91 points at 7 a.m. Asian markets were all down, while S&P 500 futures were up around 0.2%. Speaking individual stocks, Anand Rathi Wealth and Prestige Estates were at horizontal support, while Castrol, Emami and IRFC were at horizontal resistance. Elsewhere, Bank of Maharashtra, Electra and Canfin Homes were at trendline support, while Balkrishna Industries, Cyient and Bikaji were at trendline resistance. Speaking NSE 500 breadth, 50%, 49% and 61% of stocks were above their 50, 100 and 200-day moving averages. Data on wholesale prices is due today from India, while the US sees the release of retail sales and PPI numbers. That is a wrap on the day's podcast. Please note that this podcast serves solely for informational purposes and should not be considered financial advice of any kind. For a comprehensive disclaimer, please visit our website. Thank you, and we will see you on Monday at the same time. Have a great day and a fantastic weekend.
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.